I flew back home in secret without telling my wife, just to attend an old college friend's baby's 1-month party. But to my absolute shock, the woman cradling and nursing the baby was actually my own wife of 5 years. I just froze there, completely stunned. A bitter pain swallowed my chest. Later that night, when I got home, I immediately called my business partner. That offer you mentioned before, about me staying overseas as a partner? I'm taking it. That's fantastic news. With you joining the firm, we're definitely going to take things to the next level. Look, here's the plan. I'll get all the paperwork sorted as fast as I can. In 3 days, we'll fly out together. His energy rubbed off on me a little, and a faint smile finally crept onto my face. Right at that moment, the front door swung open. Jiang Mingyue, wearing a loose maternity dress, stared at me in pure shock. The bags she was carrying slipped from her hands and crashed to the floor. They were spilling over with baby stuff. Why are you back so suddenly? She frantically scrambled to pick things up, totally avoiding my eyes. I didn't say a word. I just stood there, quietly taking her in. A year ago, my company sent me to work overseas. Back then, after 4 years of me completely spoiling her, she was still as glowing and vibrant as a young girl. But now, she just looked utterly exhausted. She was so swollen that even her baggy clothes couldn't hide it. Honestly, my heart ached for her. But she willingly chose to degrade herself like this. I guess whatever I gave her was never what she actually wanted. Seeing that I was giving her the silent treatment, she finally seemed to remember what day it was. Oh, did you come back to celebrate our 5th anniversary? Well, you really should have told me in advance. I couldn't believe it. She actually had the nerve to blame me. When I still didn't say a word, she glanced over at the dining table. Then she looked back at my empty hands, and her face instantly dropped. We're supposed to be celebrating. Why haven't you cooked dinner? You didn't even get me a gift. For 5 years of marriage, I treated her like absolute royalty. Every single holiday was just another excuse for me to spoil her. I'd always whip up a massive, gorgeous feast in advance, and surprise her with exactly what she'd been begging for. Anything just to make her smile. But today, she really didn't need me to make her happy. The way her face lit up while she was holding that baby at the party. That image just kept flashing through my mind. I'm just really tired today. I just don't have the energy. I brushed her off coldly. The very next second, she furiously hurled her purse onto the floor. Bam! It landed with a loud thud. Yi Chen. Is this really how you're going to treat me? She screamed, pointing an accusing finger right at my face. Completely blind to what she had just done to me. If this had been the old me, I would have completely lost my mind by now, screaming and demanding to know whose baby that was. But after everything I saw today, I just didn't even have the energy to ask anymore. The part of me that loved her was completely shattered the second I saw her nursing that kid. I was just done expecting anything from her. I slowly stood up and locked eyes with her. What? Did you not get enough to eat at the party today? She instantly froze. It took her a long time to finally stammer. You knew I went to Chen Li's baby's 1-month party? Chen Li, you remember him, right? Our old college buddy. Yeah, of course I remembered him. He was her ex-boyfriend, even though they only dated for 3 months. Chen Li dumped her, back when she told me about their past. She scoffed with complete disgust. I must have been blind to actually fall for Chen Li. Right now, even if he begged on his hands and knees, I wouldn't even look at him twice. I believed her bullshit, only to realize in the end that I was the blind one. Maybe out of guilt, she used the bathroom as an excuse to get away. Once I heard the shower running, I unlocked my phone and scrolled past Chen Li's new post. In the photo, he was holding a 1-month-old baby, beaming with pure joy. The caption read, "Thank you for fulfilling my mother's dying wish. My life is finally complete." My heart shattered. His and his mother's lives were complete. But what about me and my mom? For 4 years of marriage, I always wanted a baby. Jiang Mingyue would just bury her face in my chest and pout, saying she wasn't ready yet. Until a year ago, when my mom died in a car crash. Her very last words to me were, "My son, Mom's biggest regret is that I won't live to see you have a child. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm the one who failed you. I was completely blind. I chose the wrong woman, and let you die without finding peace." Just as I was drowning in those memories, Jiang Mingyue walked out of the bathroom. She saw my bloodshot eyes and threw herself into my arms. "Honey, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have snapped at you like that earlier." She still smelled like that familiar gardenia body wash. I used to absolutely love that scent on her. I used to hold her for ages every time she got out of the shower. But now, it just made me want to throw up. I put my hand out and pushed her away. "Don't." Her expression froze. She looked like she wanted to snap, but held it in. "You haven't had dinner yet, right? Let me make you some noodles." That was probably the very first time she ever offered to cook for me. I felt absolutely nothing. Just as I was about to say no, she had already walked into the kitchen and started bustling about. Seeing her back, with her long hair draped over her shoulders. It was such a cozy scene. It used to be exactly what I dreamed of. Suddenly, her phone rang from the shoe rack. I casually turned my head, and caught a glimpse of the caller ID. It felt like a knife twisting in my heart all over again. The screen read, "Hubby," but I was sitting right behind her. She rushed out of the kitchen and answered the call right in front of my face. "Hello, Chen Li? Don't panic, I'll be right there." She hung up the phone. She didn't even glance at me as she slipped on her shoes. "Honey, Chen Li's baby is sick. He's crying non-stop. He's just a guy, he has no idea what to do. I'm just gonna go check on them." She quickly added, "Chen Li's wife died in childbirth. He's completely helpless, that's why he called me. Please don't misunderstand." I almost laughed out loud from the sheer audacity. Just to lie to me. She actually cursed herself dead. "Just go." I cut off her explanation with a calm, flat tone. She gave me a surprised look, but in the end, she still chose to run to Chen Li. A long time passed, and she didn't come back. When I finished washing up and lay in bed, I saw that Chen Li had posted a new update. The photo showed a half-eaten bowl of noodles, and in the background, Jiang Mingyue was feeding a baby. It was a live photo, and the sound was left on. I could clearly hear Chen Li asking, "Can you stay tonight?" Jiang Mingyue answered without a single second of hesitation, "I can. I'll just make up an excuse for him." I turned my head and looked toward the kitchen. The noodles she had been cooking were still sitting in the pot, completely untouched. Just like this marriage I've held onto for 5 years, abandoned right in the middle. Because the leading lady of my life was busy cooking noodles for someone else, coaxing a child, and sleeping in another man's bed. I calmly hit the like button on Chen Li's post. He deleted it instantly, and the very next second, Jiang Mingyue called me, "Honey, the baby has a slight fever and needs someone to look after him. I won't be coming home tonight. Please don't misunderstand. I'm just doing Chen Li a favor. We have very clear boundaries." Boundaries? Boundaries like giving birth to his child? Faced with this endless string of lies, my heart didn't even skip a beat. "Do whatever you want. I'm going to sleep." I hung up the phone. I closed my eyes, but my mind was flooded with memories of my past with Jiang Mingyue. There was a time when she was the light of my life. Back then, we were just college classmates. She was the campus beauty, and I was the most popular guy in school. Everyone said we were a match made in heaven, but I didn't have any romantic feelings for her. Because she simply had too many guys chasing her. That was, until a party one night. She stepped up to take a drink for me to help me out of an awkward spot. Her slender figure standing right in front of me, like a guardian angel. Ever since that day, I fell deeply in love with her, starting a secret crush that lasted for 3 long years. Right around graduation, rumors spread that she was cheating. Her reputation hit rock bottom. But I didn't hesitate. I stepped up and confessed my feelings to her. I completely crushed those rumors for her. She threw herself into my arms, crying with gratitude. And she swore to me, "In this life, I will never betray you." After we got married, we were always so happy. I really used to believe that we'd have a happily ever after, just like in the movies. Little did I know, reality was about to slap me hard across the face. The next day, Jiang Mingyue still didn't come home. She just sent me a text message saying she needed to keep looking after Chen Li's baby. I didn't text back. By the morning of the 3rd day, I heard noises coming from the kitchen. I followed the smell of breakfast out of the bedroom. Jiang Mingyue was standing there, wearing an apron and smiling at me. Just like in those beautiful old dreams. "Honey, you're awake. Hurry up and wash your face. Let's eat breakfast." In the past, I would have happily lost myself in this beautiful illusion I had woven. But now, it's time to wake up. I walked over to the couch, sat down, and just shook my head at Jiang Mingyue. "I don't want to eat," I said. Her expression shifted, ready to snap at me. But I cut her off. "We need to talk." "Talk about what?" Jiang Mingyue looked genuinely confused. Standing there in her apron, she looked like the perfect, loving wife. But, none of this was for me. The moment she sat down, I stared at her, deadpan. "Let's talk about how your grad school classes went this past year." 1 year ago, after my company sent me overseas, I found out she had suddenly quit her job. When I asked her about it on the phone, she stammered and told me, "I actually got accepted into a master's program. I didn't tell you because I was afraid you'd be mad at me for going back to school." Why would I ever be mad about that? I loved her in secret for 3 years, and we've been married for 5. For 8 whole years, I was basically her obedient little dog. She could throw a crumpled piece of paper, and I'd happily wag my tail to fetch it. So no, I wasn't mad. I even sent her $50,000 for her tuition. And only now do I realize that $50,000 was used to pay for her prenatal care. That healthy, chubby baby. I guess I had a hand in raising it too. Why are you suddenly bringing this up? Jiang Mingyue's face went completely pale. She had no idea how to spin this lie anymore. After all, you have to tell 100 more lies just to cover up the first one. Seeing her panic, I couldn't even be bothered to interrogate her. I just pulled out the photos I took at the baby's 1-month party, and threw them on the table. "How much longer were you going to lie to me?" The room went dead silent for a few seconds. All the color completely drained from Jiang Mingyue's face. She shot up from her chair, and her very first reaction was to accuse me. "You sneaked into the party a few days ago? Why didn't you say anything?" I just stared at her. If I told you, I wouldn't have gotten to enjoy the show, would I? She froze for a moment, and then, completely unashamed, she snapped back. This isn't cheating. I was just doing Chen Li a favor. His mother was terminally ill a year ago. Her dying wish was to hold a grandchild. You have no idea how pathetic and desperate they were. If it were you, you would have helped them too. My eyes burned with tears. They were desperate? What about me and my mom? My mother died with a broken heart. And you just watched it happen. But you flat out refused to have a child with me. Did you ever even love me? I never said I wouldn't have a baby with you. It's not my fault your mom's life was cut short. She just didn't live long enough to see it. My entire body went rigid. Something inside me completely died. Right up until this very second. I just thought Jiang Mingyue was a terrible person. She clearly never loved me. I slowly stood up. I raised my hand and slapped her across the face as hard as I could. Say one more damn thing about my mother. I dare you. She grabbed her cheek, staring at me in absolute shock. You hit me? Yi Chen, are you out of your freaking mind? Get on your knees and apologize to me right now. Or else, I am divorcing you on the spot. She really thought I couldn't live without her. After all, for the past 5 years of our marriage, every time she threatened divorce, I would break down in tears and beg her to stay. Begging her, telling her how I couldn't live without her. But this time, I just couldn't drop to my knees. And my heart was completely empty of her. Save your breath. Let's get a divorce. I threw the divorce papers right on the table in front of Jiang Mingyue. She picked them up, glanced at them, and slammed them right into my chest. Yi Chen, do you really think you'll have a good life without me? We've been married for 5 years, and we're still living in this dump your mother left you. Who else would even look twice at a loser like you? I suggest you take those words back, before I lose absolutely every ounce of hope I have in you. I just smirked. In the past, she could get away with saying that. But now, the overseas firm, under my leadership, had already pulled in hundreds of millions in profit. The multi-million-dollar bonus the company promised me had already hit my bank account. I didn't tell her, because I wanted to surprise her. Now I'm just glad I kept my mouth shut. Well, I've already lost absolutely every ounce of hope in you too. I said calmly. She froze for a second, her face still full of total disbelief. A man who had worshipped the ground she walked on for 8 years. Suddenly stopping? She just didn't dare, and refused to believe it. She suddenly turned on her heel and started walking away. Cool your head. When you finally think things through, you can come and apologize to me. Why would someone who did nothing wrong ever apologize? I watched her walk out the door, and I didn't try to stop her. Because I still had a lot of work to do. I took down every single wedding photo, and tossed them straight into the trash. Then, I threw away every single trace of my existence in that house. Including the sofa, the TV, and the bed I paid for. Finally, I had a real estate agent come over, take pictures, and list the place online. Once everything was done, I grabbed my suitcase and headed downstairs. Just as I walked to the curb to hail a cab, Chen Li caught my eye, holding that baby. He walked right up to me, smirking. Yi Chen, I can't believe you're actually divorcing Yue. Just because of a baby? Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't mean anything by it. I just wanted to say, if you're really willing to let her go, that's just fantastic. Because from now on, Yue is all mine. Did this bastard really think I wouldn't snap? I swung hard and smashed my fist right into his face. He let out a pathetic wail. Stumbling backwards, the baby in his arms got startled and started screaming its head off. You son of a bitch. You actually hit me? He completely ignored the crying baby, shoving it back into his car, then grabbed my collar, trying to throw a punch. Just as I caught his wrist, an angry scream came from behind me. Yi Chen, stop it. Jiang Mingyue came running over, clutching a fresh pack of diapers. Instantly, Chen Li went into full actor mode. The exact second she reached us, he dropped straight to his knees with a loud thud. Yi Chen, I know I'm the one who wronged you. I never should have begged Yue to have my baby. But no matter what, the baby is innocent. How could you lay your hands on my poor baby? If you're really that angry, I'll take the baby and disappear forever. His nose was pouring blood, looking like an absolute mess. Jiang Mingyue's face turned completely red with rage, and she hurled the entire pack of diapers violently at my chest. Then she suddenly kicked me hard in the knee. I was completely caught off guard, clutching my knee and doubling over in pain. The day I flew back, I was in such a rush. So desperate to see her, that I tumbled down the stairs getting off the plane. And injured my knee, but she didn't care at all, just screaming at me. Yi Chen, you bastard, what did the child do wrong? I was in so much pain, I couldn't even make a sound. Seeing this, Jiang Mingyue finally looked down at me. She was shocked to see blood seeping through my pants. A look of panic crossed her face. Yi Chen, what happened to your leg? But before she could finish, Chen Li's voice called out from behind. Yue, the baby has cried so much he's lost his voice. Come look at him, quick. Once again, Jiang Mingyue abandoned me without a second thought. Rushing over to him and the baby, she scooped the kid up, took one look, and immediately said to Chen Li, to the hospital. As they got into the car, she yelled at me through the window. Yi Chen, just wait until I get back. We are not done here. The moment their car drove off, I got into a taxi heading straight for the airport. Not long after arriving at the airport, I saw that Chen Li had posted another update. In the photo, his nose was bandaged, but he had this incredibly smug smirk on his face. The caption read, "Someone wants to make it up to me by having a second child with me. Looks like your boy is finally going to have a son and a daughter to complete the perfect family." The airport intercom called for my boarding. The moment I stepped onto the ramp, I left a comment on Chen Li's post. "Hope you two breed a whole soccer team." Then I turned off my phone, tossed the SIM card, and boarded my flight. All in one smooth motion. The very first thing I did when I got overseas was buy a house of my own. During the entire year I had previously spent abroad, to save money and give Jiang Mingyue a better life. I wouldn't even rent a place. I just crashed in the dorms provided by my company. But now, I could finally spend my own money on myself without holding back. After closing on the house, I bought a car too. When I drove up to the firm, I was greeted with a massive welcome. Everyone was congratulating me on making partner and reaching the peak of my career. Looking at my very own private partner's office, I actually laughed out loud. They say the 3 greatest joys in a man's life are getting promoted, striking it rich, and outliving your wife. Well, my wife wasn't dead. But to me, she might as well be. A senior partner quietly pulled me aside and asked, "Yi Chen, didn't you say you were heading back to your home country to be with your wife? What made you suddenly agree to come back overseas?" I replied deadpan, "She's dead." The partner thought I was joking, but my eyes were completely serious. He froze for a second, patted my shoulder, and said, "My deepest condolences. Tell you what, I know a really great girl. I should introduce you to." I shook my head, not because I still had any feelings for Jiang Mingyue, but because technically, my marriage wasn't over yet. I couldn't drag an innocent girl into that mess. First thing the next morning, I called up a highly experienced divorce lawyer. When he heard what I'd been through, he was absolutely furious on my behalf. "Don't you worry, you absolutely have the upper hand here. After all, with that guy's social media posts, and the photos you took, they're all rock-solid proof of your wife's affair. I'm going to sue her, and make sure she leaves with nothing. She won't be taking a single dime. Just wait for the good news." Since I had just made partner, I had a mountain of work to sort out, so I left the whole divorce process entirely in my lawyer's hands. Before I even heard back from the lawyer, my real estate agent back home hit me with some good news first. "Mr. Yi, a buyer just came to look at your house. They loved it. He wants to sign the contract with you right away. When do you think you can come down?" I thought I could just sign it remotely, but the agent said, "No can do. You have to be here in person. After all, this is a contract worth over $1 million. If something goes wrong, nobody can take the blame for it." I had no choice but to agree. This weekend, then, half a month after moving abroad, I bought a ticket back home again. But unlike my last trip in economy, this time, it was business class. Sitting on that plane, I finally realized just how spacious the seats could be. How sweet the flight attendant's smiles were. And that, after leaving Jiang Mingyue, life could be this beautiful. The moment the plane landed, I headed straight to the signing center. Before I could even walk through the doors, I was startled by a woman with wild, messy hair standing right outside. The weather had already turned cold, yet she was shivering in a thin, flimsy dress. Her long hair looked like it hadn't been washed in ages, plastered to her face in greasy, dirty clumps. It wasn't until she lunged at me that I realized who it was. This beggar of a woman standing in front of me was Jiang Mingyue. I was so wrong. I had thought that by leaving me, she'd naturally settle down with Chen Li and have a second child. I figured her life would actually get better. But instead, she charged right at me, staring in absolute disbelief at my sharp suit and my confident new look. "Yi Chen, it really is you. You came back." While I stood there speechless, the veins bulged on her neck as she suddenly screamed, "Where have you been this past week? I've been looking everywhere for you. You wouldn't pick up your phone. You wouldn't answer my texts. What the hell are you trying to pull? Haven't you thrown enough of a tantrum yet?" Her screaming made my ears ring. But right at that moment, the agent walked out, saw me, and called out, "Mr. Yi, you made it. Come on, hurry in. The buyer is inside waiting for you." But Jiang Mingyue suddenly pointed at him and yelled at me, "Yi Chen, it's this guy. He changed the locks on our house. He wouldn't let me go home. He's even been bringing people to look at it. He's trying to sell our house behind our backs. Call the cops. Hurry." Jiang Mingyue was raving like an absolute lunatic. He calmly peeled her desperate hands off my clothes and looked her in the eye. I was the one who changed the locks. And I was the one who told him to sell the house. "Jiang Mingyue, did you really forget? I've already filed for divorce. Now, you can go have as many kids with Chen Li as you want. You're free." The place went dead silent. I know Jiang Mingyue heard me loud and clear, and I know for a fact that my divorce lawyer has already reached out to her this past week. I just don't get why she's playing dumb. Honestly, I didn't have the energy to argue with her anyway. I signaled the agent that we were ready to go in and sign the papers. But right then, Jiang Mingyue blocked my path. Her hands were shaking as she held one up, showing me her wedding ring, the one I gave her when I proposed, 5 years ago. It was a tiny diamond. I was dirt poor back then, but I swore to her that once I made some real money, I'll buy you a diamond 10, no, 100 times bigger than this. I'll never let you live worse than anyone else. Tears welled up in her eyes as she pointed at the ring. Honey, have you forgotten? When you slipped this ring on my finger, you promised you'd always be good to me. I've never taken this ring off. Not even once. I looked away. I forgot. The truth is, on the day I flew back for the baby's 1-month dinner, I brought back a pink diamond worth over $1 million. I was going to surprise her with it. But she's the one who betrayed me. Yi Chen, how could you do this to me? Out of all the guys chasing me in college, I chose you when you had absolutely nothing. And now, after wasting 5 years of my youth, you're just going to throw me away? I won't accept this. So that was it. She was only refusing because she felt cheated. Because I demanded she leave this marriage with absolutely nothing. I chuckled. If you won't sign, we'll go to court. I've got all the time in the world to drag this out. But what about you? Chen Li is waiting for you at home. And your baby needs taking care of. How long can you afford to stall? I fully expected Jiang Mingyue to lose it and try to hit me. I even took a step back. But to my surprise, she just stood there, completely still. Huge tears rolling down her face. Yi Chen, Chen Li and we're completely innocent. I was just about to cut off her bullshit when she pulled out a crumpled document. We never slept together. We never touched. Baby was conceived through IVF. How could I ever betray you? She stared at me, her eyes brimming with tears, looking utterly pathetic. For a second, I saw the girl I used to date. The one who, whenever she felt wronged, would instantly burst into tears in front of me. Back then, the moment I saw her cry, I'd have ripped my own heart out just to make her feel better. But now, seeing her like this, I felt absolutely nothing. I don't care how that kid was conceived. It doesn't matter anymore. This marriage is over. Just as I turned to walk away, she broke down wailing. And suddenly, Chen Li's voice rang out from behind me. Yi Chen, you're a real piece of work. You know that? Don't you have a shred of decency for women? Even if you're getting a divorce, you shouldn't force Yue out on the street with absolutely nothing. She was with you for 5 years. If she didn't bring you success, she at least brought you hard work. I honestly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. For the past 5 years, I was the one entirely supporting Jiang Mingyue. I couldn't give her a life of extreme luxury, but I damn sure never mistreated her. I shot back at Chen Li. She already had a baby for you. So how much money have you actually given her? Chen Li's face froze. He was completely speechless. I just let out a cold laugh. Chen Li cursed at me from behind. I told Yue ages ago to stay away from guys like you who'd skin a woman alive in a divorce. But don't you worry. From now on, I'll be taking care of her. I'll give her the absolute best life. Just you wait, you broke loser. I walked right into the signing center without even looking back. After selling the house, 1.5 million was transferred straight into my account. My flight back was tomorrow, so I headed to the hotel and dropped off my luggage. Out of nowhere, Jiang Mingyue actually called me. Yi Chen, please, save me. I had no idea what kind of stunt she was trying to pull this time. I stayed completely on guard. If you need saving, you should be calling the cops. But she just kept crying and said, cops can't help me with this. My baby was just diagnosed with congenital heart disease. He needs bypass surgery right now. You're the only one who can help me. I was left completely speechless. When things are going great, I don't even cross her mind. But the second she's desperate for cash, I'm the first one she calls. She really never fails to disappoint me. I rejected her without a second thought. I don't have any money. She sounded completely stunned. Yi Chen, I don't care how much you hate me, but the baby is innocent. How can you just stand by and watch a baby go without life-saving treatment just because of money? Do you even have a heart? I almost burst out laughing from the sheer audacity. That kid isn't even mine. Why the hell should I have a heart for it? Besides, wasn't it just a little while ago that Chen Li was aggressively cursing me out? Calling me a broke country bumpkin? Didn't he say he was going to take care of you? I fired back, you're in trouble, and instead of going to your baby daddy, you come crying to me? You've got the wrong guy, lady. Jiang Mingyue stammered over her words. He can't come up with that kind of money. All that stuff he said earlier, he was just acting tough to save face. I let out a genuine laugh this time, but the amusement faded just as quickly. Chen Li had absolutely nothing, yet she was still willing to have his child. Meanwhile, I sacrificed everything for her, and for what? Before I could even say a word, Jiang Mingyue spoke up again. Didn't you just sell the house? You must have gotten a huge payout from that. Just lend me 500,000, please. Honestly, with the kind of wealth I had now, 500,000 meant absolutely nothing to me. But the fact that this money would be used to save Chen Li's kid, that changed things entirely. I wasn't some forgiving saint. In fact, I was dying to punch Chen Li in the face one more time. I blurted out, "Why the hell should I? Don't tell me you actually think I'm still in love with you?" Dead silence on the other end of the line. It was so quiet, Jiang Mingyue might as well have dropped dead. After a long pause, she finally spoke, her voice thick with tears. I don't dare to hope for that. But if you just give me this money, I promise I'll sign the divorce papers. Is that okay with you? She sounded so unbelievably pathetic. Seeing her grovel like that, it didn't even give me any satisfaction. Just relief. I agreed immediately. Fine, I'll give it to you. As long as it meant cutting all ties with her, let alone 500,000. I would have gladly paid 5 million. I grabbed my bank card and headed to the hospital. Jiang Mingyue was leaning against the wall, burying her face in her hands and sobbing, but I felt absolutely nothing. I just handed her the card, then pulled out a pen and paper. Words mean nothing. Write it down. Write down that this 500,000 is to completely buy out our marriage. 500,000, to end this marriage. When those words left my mouth, the tears started pouring out of her like a broken faucet. I fulfilled my last obligation as a husband, giving her one final warning. Stop relying on men to survive. Get a job of your own. A guy like Chen Li is never going to support you. The moment I said that, Chen Li suddenly lunged at me, as he swung his fist toward my face. I caught his arm in a flash, and landed a vicious kick right to his knee. Just like the exact same kick Jiang Mingyue had given me when she fought me for him. Chen Li let out a pathetic howl, clutching his knee as he collapsed to the floor. But to my complete surprise, Jiang Mingyue didn't even rush over to help him up. Chen Li was furious. "Yi Chen, you broke loser, stop acting so damn tough. You just got a lucky payout from selling your house. Do you seriously think you're some kind of savior? Do you really?" His voice cut off instantly, because I unlocked my phone and shoved my bank account balance right in his face. I hadn't even bothered counting how many zeros were at the end of that number. "Yeah, I guess I'm not as impressive as you. I just made partner, and pull in over 10 million a year in dividends. Nothing crazy." Dead silence filled the room. I grabbed the agreement Jiang Mingyue had signed and walked away. Jiang Mingyue, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Meet me at the city hall entrance. The next morning, I waited there for ages. Jiang Mingyue never showed up. I kept calling her, but it wouldn't even ring. Just as I got pissed off enough to call the cops, they actually found me first. "Hello, are you Jiang Mingyue's husband, Yi Chen?" I didn't confirm or deny it. I just asked, did something happen to her? A million different scenarios flashed through my mind, but I never expected what the officer said next. "She climbed up onto the highway overpass and is threatening to jump into the sea. She's been up there for over an hour now. We can't talk her down at all. We need you to come to the scene with us immediately." I got into the police car. At that moment, I still hadn't grasped how out of hand this whole thing had gotten. That was, until a bunch of my old college classmates started blowing up my phone. "Yi Chen, man, you are going viral. You sneaky bastard, I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover with you. Jiang Mingyue used to be the absolute hottest girl in our school. How the hell could you do that to her?" I opened our old class group chat, and was completely stunned by the chaos. Hundreds of people were gossiping about me and Jiang Mingyue. The story of our divorce was out there, but twisted into a completely opposite version. According to the rumors, I was the absolute biggest piece of trash in the universe. People said I didn't go work abroad to give Jiang Mingyue a better life, but so I could fool around with women overseas. The rumor claimed I brought back over 10 million yuan, and the very first thing I did was demand a divorce from her. When she refused, I supposedly sold our house behind her back and ran off overseas by myself. Now, with our child supposedly critically ill in the hospital, I was actually blackmailing her into signing the divorce papers before I'd pay for the medical bills. And that's why Jiang Mingyue just couldn't take it anymore and wanted to kill herself. Public bought this hook, line, and sinker, all because people started posting screenshots of their chats with Chen Li. In them, he was swearing up and down, staking his very reputation that every single word of it was true. Sitting in the police car, the sheer audacity of those two actually made me laugh out loud. The cops probably thought I'd lost my mind. When we got to the overpass, Jiang Mingyue was standing on the wrong side of the railing, looking like she was about to fall. A massive crowd of reporters and bystanders had surrounded her, desperately trying to talk her down. "Miss, he's not the only guy in the world. You don't need this Yi guy. You can definitely find someone better." I couldn't help but nod in agreement. "Yeah, exactly, I'm not the only guy out there, so stop bleeding me dry." Just then, the police called out to her. "Miss Jiang, we brought your husband here." Jiang Mingyue snapped her head around, looking at me with eyes full of tears. The second the crowd recognized me, they went absolutely wild, pointing fingers and screaming at me. Sure, I used to be a total simp for her, but I'm not an idiot. If this kind of rumor spread, it wouldn't just ruin my reputation, it would destroy my whole future. I immediately pulled out all the evidence I collected of her cheating. I am the victim in this marriage. Get your facts straight. When I shoved the evidence right in front of them, the entire crowd went dead silent. But it didn't last. Soon enough, people started making excuses for her again. AI technology is so advanced these days. Who's to say these photos and videos aren't just deepfakes? Yeah, exactly. If she really cheated on you, then why would she refuse a divorce? Look at her, she's heartbroken enough to jump off a bridge. You're such a piece of trash. The crowd suddenly whipped into a frenzy. The cops tried to hold them back, but once one person made a move, it set off a chain reaction. Suddenly, everyone was swarming me, punching and kicking me from all sides. I desperately tried to explain, but no one would listen. I was beaten down, curling up on the ground, covered in bruises. Just as I was about to lose all hope, I heard Jiang Mingyue screaming from behind me. Stop. Everything Chen said is true. I'm the one who betrayed him. I'm the one who went behind his back, and had another man's baby. I'm the one who messed up. Chen, I'm sorry. The person involved confessed it from her own mouth. My innocence was finally proven. The crowd instantly scattered. I stood up, wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth, and looked at Jiang Mingyue. I'm sorry. You might be sick of saying it, but I'm damn tired of hearing it. I expect absolutely nothing from you anymore. I don't even want the money back. All I want is for you to keep your word from yesterday. Come to the registry office with me, and sign the divorce papers. The moment those words left my mouth, splash, a massive thud, water exploded into the air. Jiang Mingyue had jumped off the bridge. The police immediately launched a rescue, but the river was incredibly fast. Jiang Mingyue bobbed up and down a couple of times, and quickly vanished under the rushing water. Seeing this, I ripped off my jacket and dived in without a second thought. Thank God for my years of swimming and working out. Diving deep was a breeze for me. It didn't take long before I grabbed hold of her in the dark water. I dragged her back to shore. Her face was deathly pale. After some quick CPR, she slowly fluttered her eyes open. The moment she saw me, a glimmer of hope lit up in her eyes. Chen, I knew it. You still care. I slapped away the hand she reached out to me. Don't flatter yourself. I just wanted to make sure that before you drop dead, you finalize this divorce with me. Being a divorcee is a hell of a lot better luck than being a widower. The crowd erupted in laughter. Jiang Mingyue looked absolutely dead inside. I slung my jacket over my shoulder and walked away like a boss, while the crowd cheered behind me. The next morning, I finally heard her heavy footsteps. Jiang Mingyue came limping in, looking even more ghastly than the day before. She looked like she had seen a ghost, but I didn't bother to ask. Just get in there and sign it, I snapped. She opened her mouth to speak, but stopped herself. The moment I held that divorce certificate in my hands, a massive weight was finally lifted off my chest. Out in the bright morning sun, Jiang Mingyue called out to me. Chen, if there is a next life, I swear I will never betray you again. She sobbed hysterically, but I felt absolutely nothing. Her pathetic little stunt from yesterday was already trending online, and all the dirty details about her having a baby for Chen Li were completely exposed for the whole world to gossip about. The false label of me being a scumbag was finally ripped away. As for her and Chen Li, they became absolute pariahs, hated by everyone. I took my divorce papers and flew back overseas. I started a brand new chapter of my life. I honestly thought I'd never have to hear a single word about Jiang Mingyue ever again. But 3 months later, an email popped up in my inbox. It was an automated, scheduled message from Jiang Mingyue. In it, she revealed something that sent a shiver straight down my spine. It turned out, on the exact day we signed our divorce papers, her baby had died alone in their rented apartment. I was completely shocked. I had clearly given her the money. But as I kept reading, the horrifying truth came out. The $500,000 I gave her had been snatched away by Chen Li. He told her he was going to pay the hospital bills himself. But instead, he went behind Jiang Mingyue's back and completely canceled the baby's surgery. Then he just dumped that poor, fragile infant back in that freezing apartment. And left him there to die. By the time Jiang Mingyue found out, it was already way too late. The reason she didn't tell me about it right away was because she wanted to put an end to everything before telling me, and her way of ending it meant staking out the airport for 3 solid days, just to catch Chen Li as he tried to flee the country. She pulled out the concentrated sulfuric acid she had prepared, and doused Chen Li's entire body with it. Not only was Chen Li's face horribly disfigured, but his lower half was totally destroyed, too. He didn't die, but he's living a fate worse than death. Even going to the bathroom has become a struggle. As for Jiang Mingyue herself, the very moment Chen Li screamed in absolute agony, she drank the concentrated sulfuric acid. At the end of her email, she wrote, Chen, I wish so much that we had a next life. But I just deleted the email, and permanently blocked her account. Jiang Mingyue, you once lit up my life, but in the end, you were never my moon. Let's not meet in the next life, either. I will be my own moonlight.